This is the Alliance Dispatch. Do you read us?
Your primary target will be the power generators. Prepare to open shield.
Hello, welcome everyone back to an emergency broadcast. As you see, our main man, General Recon, on the front of Hoth, has come in with an urgent report. James, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm very excited with these brand new spoilers we have been given by our friends over at Fantasy Flight Games. What do you reckon first? Let's go with you.
Yeah, so, I mean, 6 cost, 5/7, when played on attack, as you guys saw, choose a friendly unit. If it has Sentinel, give an experience taken to it, otherwise it gains Sentinel for this phase. I love that it's got 2 modes.
Yeah.
Really flexible in any card game, that's really good. And the fact it is also not just on play, it's on attack is really nice. And 5/7, it's almost like, so, I mean, obviously, green-white, they've really gone in with the theme here for us, which is really cool. But it's also almost like they've been listening to the podcast, because you've had a few complaints about Sentinels not being beefy enough before. This guy is 5/7 stat, and basically can give himself Sentinel, which is a beefy Sentinel anyway.
Yeah.
But like also can give your other beefier unit Sentinel. So it's almost like they listen to you and were like, "Yeah, we got you, bro."
Yeah, and I really appreciate it. And I'm kind of like a little bit upset because in the general curve of Green Hero, I've been playing a lot of Hera this week, double Green Hera, and the 7 drop for Green Hero, you've got U-Wing and that's it. It's very upsetting. So General Recon coming in at 6 is almost at that sweet 7 spot. I would love to have seen him at 7 and just like make him more outrageous. But he's definitely very good at 6. There are a few kind of cases I've been looking at, like the Chewie unit drops at 5, so you could play that, then play Recon the turn after if he still survives, and then you get a beefier Chewie. He keeps to keep readying. Oh my god, I can't talk. Who keeps to keep readying? That's just not a sentence. But
ready again.
Yeah, he gets to ready again every time he takes damage and doesn't die. Giving him an experience token gives him more health, which means he might not die, and you can swing back and do more damage. Chewie loves that goodness. The reason I was distracted just then is because I've got a new puppy and it's trying to chew my computer cables.
Nice. It's agreeing with you. So I'll take over while you resolve that issue.
Yeah.
Also, in addition to the yellow Chewie unit, we've obviously got the blue Chewie leader from the first set, who loves to give things Sentinel anyway. He already plays very defensive. So that was my first thought, was he might go in there in that sort of build. It's interesting, like in the first set, obviously he's got that rebel keyword, which is great. The official keyword is also pretty good, right?
Yeah.
In the first set, we see a very aggressive rebel keyword, right? Like it's very aggro in the first set. Almost, you could say, like in the first film, in A New Hope, where they've got the jump on the Empire and they're like getting in and getting out and doing everything, blowing up the Death Star, doing it really quick. Like, and then in the second film, you've got a very defensive rebel group, right? Like they've got their back up against the wall. The Empire found them. They've been deep in hiding on Hoth, and this guy's job is literally a defensive strategist. He has to just get people out and get them alive. And yes, the rebels are going to lose this battle, but they're going to survive and try and win the war, right?
Yeah.
So it's interesting that in the second set, like in the second film, maybe I'm reaching here, it is a defensive rebel, which is not something we've really seen before.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, I would definitely say when you look at the rebel package, it's a lot of fleet lieutenants and the experience token. I can't remember what it's called now. Fleet. No, it's gone.
Oh, the X-wing, the leader.
Yeah. The X-wing leader. Yeah, we know. So yeah, it is really nice to kind of see that curve of Rebel go a bit higher, because it does kind of top out at home 1, which is fantastic. So it's good to kind of just see that range kind of, maybe you can start getting more of a mid-range, like Rebel kind of tribe going on.
Yeah, and I mean, to swing it back round again to the blue Chewie leader, you've got the Redemption, right, which is already got Sentinel and it's 6/9. and
Yeah.
has a crazy ability of healing 8 damage from units and bases. So if you slam him down, if you see him after the redemption, obviously, you're playing a very late game. But then suddenly, I mean, this is, Christmas land maybe, but this is a 7-10 now redemption, which just sounds insanely horrible to deal with, and you've basically won the game there, right? Like, you just won. And the same with Obi-Wan. You've got some really nice Sentinel units. Baze Malbus as well, my boy Baze. With Grit and Sentinel, you just whack another +1/+1 on him, and he sticks around as long as you've got the initiative. So and actually as well, I was talking about to begin with about the flexibility of having these two options of you either give something Sentinel if you need it, or you give something with Sentinel +1/+1.
Yeah.
And the power of that, and also the fact that it's when played and on attack, so you get to multiple use this ability as well as having a pretty decent stat line anyway. But when you look at all that as well, you think. I tell you what's really interesting is that it's not just ground units.
Yeah.
Being able to be flexible with where you put this +1 or where you put this Sentinel is going to be incredibly strong, I think, and shouldn't be overlooked.
Yeah, and on the blue Chewie kind of his ability is actually really impactful. The fact that it only works on 3 power units is what makes it bad. The fact that you can do this on anything, you could pit this on, you could give Home 1 a Sentinel for a turn or whatever, so you can really kind of make fire sprays commit suicide and all that kind of stuff. So it's really impactful that it does work on both land and space. But also my kind of huge takeaway, and this kind of happened to me a lot yesterday, is that because it's got an on-played and on-attack effect, and it is a 6 cost, you can ECL him. So you can both give a unit Sentinel and then give it +1/+1 when you then attack with Recon.
Yeah, and what's the limit on ECL? Is it 6 or less cost?
Six or less, yeah.
Oh, there you go. You don't want him to be a 7 cost. Maybe he's built for ECL.
Yeah. So he could give himself Sentinel and then give himself an experience token to turn into a 6/8 on turn 6, which is pretty good. Obviously, you've got to have a ground unit to ambush into, but that's probably likely.
That just wins, right? Like you take away their big threat. It stays alive with 1 or 2 health, but then he's gonna have Sentinel and kill whatever else.
6 damage. Yeah, it's really impactful. I think we're going to see a lot of General Recon in Hero Green for sure.
Yeah, it's a really good spoiler. So thanks for FFG for that. It was really cool.
Yeah,
got to see our big boss.
Yeah,
the guy we work for.
Yeah, we're all up for the rebels in this channel.
Yes, although the second spoiler is not a rebel.
Not a rebel.
Collection Star Hopper making its way into your collection soon, maybe. I hate myself for that. It is a 2-cost 2/2 green Underworld vehicle fighter. So we see another Underworld tag, which we're obviously seeing more of in this set.
Yeah.
The big thing about this obviously is the smuggle ability, which we've already sort of gushed over in this channel. We love that.
Yeah.
It's maybe not the most competitive stat line, a 2-cost space unit with 2/2, but the smuggle ability is what salvages it here. I don't know what you think about this one, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously really good in the limited format. It's Underworld, so you can use McClunky, as our friends over on Unplayable love to reference every time the Underworld keyword is said in a mile. So if your opponent plays an A-wing, you can play this. You can attack the A-wing. You can then play McClunky, pull it back, blow up something else. It's having a 2-drop Underworld is all right.
Yeah, and to be clear as well, Smuggle, I think, is just really powerful. We all know that, but in green especially, where you might have a redundancy of resources in the late game, whack this out. Why not? Yes, it's under rate for 3 resources, but at that point in the game, you got those resources to spare. Then sure, why not? Right? Let's just get another 2/2 out on pressure.
Yeah, and as far as damage goes, most space units at the 2 cost do have 2 damage. It's just normally they have 3 health. Yeah. In the grand schemes of things, having 3 health does allow you to generally go 2 for 1, but it's not the be all and end all. It's all right.
This thing still takes out TIE fighters, and that is what we're all about here at the Alliance Dispatch.
Blow up them TIE fighters.
That's it.
I think that kind of wraps up everything I had to say about the 2. We're only 3 weeks away from pre-release. Very excited. I'm locked in for both Saturday and Sunday at my local game store. So
Lovely. Yeah, I'm gonna get locked in as well. And yeah, hopefully we'll be pulling these as well. So yeah, thanks again FFG for the opportunity to show these off. They are, especially General Recon was super happy with that one. Our boss getting in there and just showing us a whole new side of Rebel is really cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Until next time, we'll see you.
This is the Alliance Dispatch. Over and out.